Utumi Mutsuning, known as Gogo Skhotheni. I'm officially making this video to announce that I am no longer a traditional healer. I am no longer a sangoma. I am no longer practicing as a sangoma. I'm no longer doing consultations. I am no longer giving out isidliso. I'm no longer giving out imbiza, yonke nje lento. I'm no longer doing it. However, I'll forever acknowledge and respect my ancestors, and I'll forever believe in my ancestors. And I am a child of God. Yes, this is the day that the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. I'm very much happy. I wish I could sing. I wish I could do so much. But yeah, my heart is full.
So Gogo Skhotheni announced yesterday that she is no longer going to be consulting, that she is done with that. She's done with giving people tours, guitaring people, you know, the whole nine jazz. And so the love potions, you became famous for love potion. Gogo Skhotheni became popular. The first time we heard about Gogo Skhotheni was when there was that video where she was teaching her amatwasana at her thingy that she must, if she has a crush on someone, she is going to give them love potions. Definitely had my interest written all over it, and I'll tell you why. Because it reminded me of a certain parable. In the parable of the treasure, he speaks about one who found a field and that had treasure, and he went and sold everything and came back and bought the land. It's a very interesting analogy. You'll think, why doesn't he just get the treasure? But he buys the land that the treasure is on. And it's kind of very interesting is that I'm not just gonna take what's valuable or what I deem valuable out of my human experience. I'm going to take everything that it comes with. Christian walk is about that, particularly discipleship. It's about that. It's about taking everything that it comes with God's way. For some people, they choose one thing and then they will obsess about that one thing. Their whole life is dictated by that one thing. And if you read the Bible, it says God works all things together. He doesn't work one thing. He works all things together for the good of them. And so God structures everything that we find out of the human experience for the good of them that love Him. And when we have that mindset about life, we have the right perspective to how God wants us to take every single day at a time. And that's that parable right there. That parable tells us you don't take what you deem valuable. You take the entire field. And so the parable says what? This guy found treasure. The treasure is in this particular area. He goes and he buys the land around it. He buys everything that it comes with. But this particular purchase costs. And what does it cost? It costs everything. It costs everything. Now, says he goes and he sells everything, and from selling everything, he comes and he purchases that one thing that he deems that the value is worth. You have to ask yourself, do you think the value that Jesus' death on the cross came and gave, do you think it's worth this? Or do you think it's worth you keeping everything else than to purchase his worldview, his perspective, and his salvation? Do you think it's worth not having this to obtain this? That's the question. When we become saved, or masindiswa as we said, it means that we stop our worldview. We stop having our old worldview to everything, and we take his way. We take his method. We answer to life his way. Why? We dropped everything else. We sold everything else, and we took on his. Now, the Bible does give a caution to that, to us being able to do that. when you read about budget, the budget story that is known in the Bible, you are like, "Hi, Ricky, what budget story?" The Bible talks about a man who went out to build, and he says, does he not count the cost for this? Does he not count the cost of what it will cost them when they are going to purchase, when they are going to build a house? And he says they do so that they know that they're going to finish it. So now there are certain ideas from the old world that will keep trying to creep themselves in. The thing you have to ask is, seek to answer all those with this new treasure. This treasure we must deem that valuable to answer all questions, to answer to everything. Otherwise, if we keep borrowing ideas, if we keep borrowing from the old world view, we'll taint this. Now, listen to what the Bible's warning is. It says, lest if he is not able to afford it, people will see him not completing it and they will make a mockery of him. Interesting. Why will they make a mockery of him if he's not able to complete it? It's because we automatically assume when you're starting your building, you've already counted that you're gonna complete it. And so, but in that entire idea of speaking about budget, he wasn't talking about budget. He was talking about, understand, if people see you borrow from there, they will see you and will ask the question, Haibo, we call that discipleship. So there is a follow through. There is a certain level of follow through. After we've stated what we believe and what we are abandoning, we are announcing ourselves that we are no longer going to borrow from anywhere else. Why? Because the treasure here with the land and everything that the land comes with, I will take from. I will draw from this treasure. And then when you go into 2 Corinthians, it then emphasizes we have this treasure in earthen vessels. That the life that now comes out of us, Galatians says, may no longer be our own but that of Christ, that God lives through us. So now we understand we're no longer just people who have taken on the value of the treasure that we found here, or the value of the land here. As a person who no longer borrows from old ideas, we are now a projection of what he wants. We call that an ambassador. That's what the Bible makes us, or it communicates back to us that we are ambassadors of this particular treasure that so we are speaking about the treasure. Our preaching is about the treasure. There are certain things that are going to come up that you need to sort out. There are certain things there are weeds that are going to be here. You got to deal with those weeds according to the ideologies that come from this treasure. See, this land here comes with a treasure that dictates life here. That's the gospel. That is the gospel in a nutshell, is that we interpret our life through that. And so, a word of encouragement to Gogo Skhotheni's decision would be this. Don't borrow. Don't borrow from old ideas. Devote your whole way. Devote your whole way into what you have designated yourself to. I have a series on Christian beliefs and Christian discipleship that we have done. It's over 60, 70 hours worth of audios. If you would like us to send it to you, freely so. If you have a number of Upalisa, you can send her, or Utabiso, you can send them a message, they will get you to me. Or if you have a number of BC, or you can look on the community section, you will find this ministry's channel, and send me a WhatsApp message. I would love to forward you those messages. We could hear it was coming, you know. when she went to make Jesus, like we are booyah. And so we could hear it was coming, but it is a beautiful thing to get to share with you and to hear you speak of. What we'd encourage is be wary, be careful of old ideas trying to creep themselves in. Be careful of people trying to define your walk when you are now here, and try and get that all from the Bible. That's why I'm saying, if you're thinking, you can send those people a message to forward you my thingy, and I will forward them the audios. You can listen to the audios. They will keep building. The audios will keep building, maybe even going forward. You just need to have the link to the file, and it will keep adding maybe 2 audios a week. We do 2 sessions a week in there. And so I'd advise you go there, and also, and I would advise, take your time with study, with listening to them, and go there, go all the way. Try and understand, how does this treasure in this field that you have now bought to, how does it define life in this whole land? The land that the parable speaks about purchasing, that you have now purchased. How does it define life in this thing? Which is what the Christian worldview, which we call doctrine, how does it define life for a Christian? That's what we have come to. That's what the decisions we have come to. It presents a whole different perspective of life altogether. But we have to be careful defining life from the old. Welcome to the faith, and we would love to see you grow in it, and may the Lord keep you and keep you walking in it faithfully. So it's Ricky, it's the Ricky Show. We do daily Christian commentary videos. Other episodes done today, they'll be down in the pinned comments, and I'm gonna check you out on later on. Y'all have a wonderful day. Welcome to the faith.